Today I'd like to demonstrate a technique for an efficient, economical, and easy way to make replacement dentures for your patients. You don't need the patient, all you need is their old dentures, and you don't even need a doctor, the staff can do this. Here's what you'll need: the old dentures, lab putty with a good hardness. This is an 85 Shore hardness. 2 squares of bubble wrap, vibrator, alginate, an articulator with an extra top half, base plate, bite rim, heat source, and a glue gun. Go to your lab putty. For an upper, we use 3 scoops. There are the mixes that are 2 types of putty, which are easier on the hands sometimes, but this is what we use in the lab. For each scoop, a line of catalyst. Mix it up. We start with the upper because we're going to need an impression of the upper too. And to really get the voids out, it just helps to squish it in there and squish it in there again and squish it in there again, then build you a little base. And if you're really pressed for time, you can add a 4th line of material and it will set up quicker. Press it onto the bubble wrap, bubbles up. Go to your lower, 2 scoops will sometimes get it, sometimes 3 is needed. And then set it on the bubble wrap. You can go ahead and mix up your alginate. Like I said, if the patient drops the dentures off, there's no reason to be in a big hurry. You can do steps as you get free time. Load your tray. Paint the tops of your teeth so you don't get any positive bubbles in your impression. Go to your vacuum form machine. It's nice and hot. Stick in the material. Notice the bubble wrap gives it a nice Lego effect. When your material sets up, you want to trim it off your denture. We pull that off. Trim it up even more. Trim the inside. All right, it's ready. We have a pair of OXO shears that we use to trim away the excess. And once you get all the outside pieces off, you can separate it and then go back and we put our denture back on it. Trim up the flash with our barred Parker, scrape it off. Separate our upper from the alginate. Quick set plaster for our upper model. Watch it go into each one of the teeth so you don't get bubbles. Now is a good time you can score it so it will mount better. Now we want to mount our 2 dentures. Most people's old dentures will hand articulate without any problem. Take a little glue gun, stick it. I like to stick it in 3 different areas. Got it stuck together. Mix up some more quick set plaster. You want to line it up to where the plane of occlusion is parallel to these pins. Throw some on the top. After it sets, pop off the glue. Separate it. Take the lower off. I'm using the portable heat source for this demonstration, but you want to soften up your base plate on the underside so it'll stick to the, soften up your bite rim so it'll stick to your base plate. Then soften up chill it. And you want to send this articulator putty model to the lab and return the dentures to the patient. And this is the advantage of using bubble wrap. You can pop it off and like a Lego system, pops right back on. If it doesn't, it's because it's got little broken pieces here and there. Just clean them out, toothbrush, fingers. And it pops back and stays on. And the lab can make your upper bite rim, or you can make it yourself if you want to. Then you want to take your model. If you do it, you can send all this to the lab and they can mount it. The lab will use the bite to articulate the second half with a second piece of articulator. And this will give your technician all he needs to replicate this denture or improve it if he wants more lip support or less lip support or longer teeth or shorter teeth. He can set the lower teeth to this model if he wants and then set the upper teeth to it to get pretty much a very precise duplication. But generally the old dentures are worn down and you'll want to open the bite up a little bit or make it a new denture. So you send all of that to the lab and they have what they need to make a replacement denture set. Okay. Takes about 30 minutes. So after the lab mounts this, sets the teeth, you have a sturdy base plate where you can take a wash impression of it, just like a reline. Take a check bite so the lab can remount it for the processing part. And that's pretty much it. I'm Tim Lane, and I hope this technique will help you communicate better with your lab and make it an easier process, especially for those patients who can't come in.
All right, when you're ready.
You're supposed to say action.
Action!